Abusiafo ne for high Alpha 1G channel first time about so I need no book and so now I subscribe your mind say being news by no should be a notification phone so now I be shuffling so and my reviews of a shake I'm more down for so any bit for me again some sort of thing. In him dear a bear rechi near me see what a parliament vet and say a brown on baby vet a mita honorable minta canon any honorable a samo ukuzota bracanon. As a KOC was here just a year the managership and a deputy munin and made the year to trust him or a year vet last year just almost says and yema tin time table the form microphone a castle almost says and near the adenum. Actually, say no in rain say no a bit too jammy say a speaker and barbing as suspend the I say almost 2 weeks as almost parliament. Both vet and name the co-ruling our parliament got almost for almost 2 weeks. I say Ebeka, yes, become a baby and suspend your mom. Now, right now, on information, Banacher say, yes, say, yes, become a baby and say, any say, MPs or more Ghana, I could tell the mom 15,000 Ghana, sound like I see 150 million and the mom every month. Now, information Bob Banacher say, yes, say a year speaker man Barbie and say, Yama says, no, the damage, no, say microphone, say, Queen, say, I will be more damage during that parliament chaos near course now. A idea, one almost suspending another Ɗeduct a year we jack by a MP, no, and then Rebecca Afenyo marking boom kakania than any other a year MP such as a suspend on me for no. I say, you say, no, yes, say, come Barbie so or Betsy. Sike be a few or mankas I catch me 15,000 Ghana cedis. But you hear a near man go for your assess na and to me no I was speak up and bad me at your 10,000 Ghana cedis. They come 5,000 could every month because near my send no and yes and to every vet na nkasa me could shame near kwa yes I meet na say come more gather yes I meet ni and yes and to much my says and near my see. And then I may make us I was speak up and buy me at 10,000 Ghana cedis from market you. I say no I mean make I say same way no I'm Ghana for I owe me he pound to this then say arrogant JB a baby room my kuro minority the BIC dictate account. What I mean so my come go have video in good details na Bible you know you ban it in commercial line at us.
Also have our way. We will not allow you to vet the people. So young and the only issue or difficulty with this has to do with the destruction of public property. But ideally, Parliament is a house of debates, and when you do honor Kabinami Kebi, or Kawajun, but Newman almost say, and I say the whole process. Yeah. And I say no, but A.Dompreh, Jerry, and Afenyo, they were doing their work.
I see. At that time, we saw the chairman sitting there quietly.
Yes.
What do you make of the chairman as a chairman of the committee, and he couldn't turn his left, right hands, all of that? Do you think that was the right thing?
When it gets to the level where the whips are in charge, at that point in time, we are in charge of the people.
I see.
And that is how come
so you have to rise to the occasion.
Yeah, that's how come even in Parliament, if they say we are the whip says we are voting this way, the majority leader cannot go do otherwise.
That's what we call them whips.
Yeah. They will whip you in line. They will whip you in line. Because when they say this is how we are going, everybody, whether you are a deputy speaker or you are a majority leader, that is the line you have to do.
Or ship and see your monk, Yasu, you bubu,
one commander, we say a monk, so I won't say a buffon do some level, then people begin to lose control. And the minority no say no, if we don't do this, come what may, the majority will have their way, and we will not allow them to have their way, and cause all these problems.
I see. So not to say, we cannot blame the members of Parliament in that much. Per what we saw yesterday,
we can only blame them for Newman.
Okay.
But say for them to disagree on something,
on their hot tempers,
for them to disagree, it's allowed. But they don't hate each other and all those things. But if it gets to that level, we can blame them so much anymore. And if you have followed today's proceedings, the Speaker of Parliament actually says that they will deduct it from the salaries of the parliamentarians involved.
I see.
Yeah, to fix them. So it is one of the directions of the speaker.
I see.
Yeah.
Good. So quick one. Now tonight we are learning that the speaker has suspended 4 members of parliament.
Yes.
Yes. Who are these people and why?
So it is the reason why when I was watching the video, I knew very well that the whip system was at play. If you look at the members of parliament that have been suspended, you see the chairman of the committee is there. He has not been suspended. Afenyo, who is the ranking member, has not been suspended. But Ɗamagě曦, the chief whip for the majority side, has been suspended. A.Dompreh has been suspended. Ahmed has been suspended. Then one other MP from the minority side, Ɗeduct for Gushegu constituency, has also been suspended. The 4 of them.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
If Ayadi can also take responsibility,
really?
The chairman of the committee and the ranking, in charge of the committee, it should be hot. The first people to be suspended. But at this point, the speaker suspended the whips because discipline. They are in charge of discipline. They are supposed to make sure that the MPs are disciplined.
I see. Good one, folks. I believe sir, be bringing your understanding of this because be bringing NTS. If I share messages are Abameha be bring ADD your MPs not near there. But however you may insult me, not insult. There are certain aspects where you need to understand them. Sir, one more because like y'all said, it's a house of debate. But microphones in the next, they've gone beyond the threshold of that responsibility. But there's also tears to say, yes, it will be a whip. No, will be a minority leader. Yeah, quickly before you go, one person and who hear me one wapa, Jerry Ahmed.
Yes.
That fresh guy, that new guy.
Yeah.
And he was just pushing tables or more lifted they call a whole lot of stuff. Not just give us that perspective. Say, was it wrong what we saw yesterday night and said this is about parliamentary business?
Okay, thank you, Chief. Parliament, the way the Ghana Parliament operates on the whip system. And under the whip system, it drew time of decision taking. Mostly the whips that are in charge. So that is how come the whip will. And they are mostly in line with the position of the party.
MC, can we see the video along?
They are mostly in line with the position of the party. So whatever decision the political party takes, it is the role of the chief whip to ensure that the parliamentarians fall in line. That is how come sometimes say the person who vote about the abandonment in the whip to be sure say he is actually towing the line of the party. In the course, if you listen to the majority leader, or party say, ideally they were supposed to vet 3 individuals.
Yes.
But along the line, they had a consensus that they could increase the number to 4.
Good.
From 4, and they decided they were increasing it to 6.
Okay.
It's almost vetted through level. I think the majority side wanted to vet more people. And minority for say we do threshold, then Emma you go beyond those numbers. Then days I stand off and buy. But if you watch carefully what happened in Parliament, and you realize that 2 people played a key role in this.
Exactly.
Honorable Frank and A.Dompreh, then Honorable Roxanne Nelson, Ɗamagě曦, of South Dai, the 2 of them. And another person you talk about is the gentleman, Jerry Ahmed. Yeah, he's a deputy to A.Dompreh. So he's a whip.
So he's a deputy whip.
Yes.
I see.
At that particular point in time now, is the whips that mostly are in charge of discipline in Parliament when it comes to the MPs. Until when the whip says that this is what we are doing, every parliamentarian will fall in line. Or they whip them in line. Until Afenyo, we took a decision at the leadership level, and when he was the majority leader, and my brothers on the other side agreed that we'll go this way. But the next day, that means that the party is giving them a direction.
The party is
giving them a direction. This is how we want you to go. And once that happens, it is the responsibility of the whip to ensure that the parliamentarians fall in line. And to be said, Ɗamagě曦, any A.Dompreh, they played crucial role.
I see.
Baby now say no, we won't agree. But Afenyo was there, and then the chair of the committee was there. But the 2 of them, they were just commanding the MPs, and they were.
So can I ask you, sir? Can we say, sir, your friend is saying the whips yesterday were doing their job as whips,
so
as per the reactions that was going on? And how should the Ghanaian interpret this?
They were actually doing their job, but baby, they couldn't control the members to ensure, say, there will be no damages. You can decide that this is the decision we want to take. To the minority now, we will not participate in the vetting anymore. We won't also leave to allow you to do the vetting.
Okay, yes. So, how to explain to us?
Because mostly what we hear is that in Parliament, the minority have their say, the majority will have their way. So when they said that, baby, we are tired, let's cut off the proceedings. The majority insisted that the vetting will continue. They knew very well if they walk away, the majority will carry on with the vetting. So we will not only have our say, but
now paint a picture for us where you see now Afenyo marking has become very vociferous. Afenyo marking has become, very hot iron. Do you foresee, say, the minority, if you like, put it in that of quotation, micro minority, do you foresee, say, it's as though they are losing their relevance, and therefore, so it will look as though the super majority of NDC for back machine and or more yes, and I say they are overdoing it. How do you place them?
Thank you, Chief. Afenyo Marking's position, they are just 88 in number.
Yes.
And at this point in time, it is mostly the minority in Parliament that holds government accountable.
That's correct.
If you recall, the 8th Parliament, the minority then, they had huge numbers. And at a point in time when they decided to go against the e-levy, even though the e-levy was eventually passed, the minority decided that they were not in support of the e-levy. And that decision is one of the reasons why MPP lost woefully. So the minority got something out of it. And Afenyo Marking and his people at this point in time, they are supposed to be seen to be a strong opposition is needed in Parliament. And they do not have the numbers. Until Okoye soft kakrana majority already know the numbers will trample upon you. And so if you are becoming a bit soft, you cannot even operate at all, and you'll be rendered useless. So at this point in time, Afenyo Marking and then they will be known after the 4 years. As to whether they were a weak minority or a strong minority, because they don't have the numbers. Majority always have their way. They will always have their way. Until baby, they want to court public sympathy to a large extent because numbers. So you need strong people to lead the minority at this point in time in order to be able to hold the government accountable. So
are you therefore suggesting or saying that with the hardline stand of Afenyo Marking, we should not find too much fault with, therefore Afenyo Marking should be allowed to operate as a minority leader?
No. So when you follow the proceedings on the with the committee, Afenyo Marking is a ranking member, and what a lot of people have complained is that the chairman is allowing him to ask too many questions. But per their rules,
he's asking.
Their rules and their procedure, he is allowed to ask countless number of questions.
Say that again.
Per the rules of the committee, Afenyo Marking does not have limited number of questions to ask. So it is his discretion to decide whether he wants to ask one question, two or three. If he decides to ask 1,000, the chairman must allow him to ask those questions, except in a situation where the chairman feels that the question is inappropriate and he will rule out, or you ask him to rephrase the question. But he cannot tell him ask 2 questions or 3 questions.
But members are limited in terms of
the other members are limited.
Supplementary questions.
They are limited. So if you watch carefully, the members that are limited in terms of the number of questions they can ask, they push some of the questions to Afenyo. Because at that point in time, maybe I wanted to ask 5 questions, but I was allowed to ask only 3. What will I do? The leader he has counselors, so he will have the opportunity to ask those questions on my behalf.
I see. Now, viewers, I hope education move follow ni just say ebiso ntia says adan yama kwan ma Afenyo Marking obisansem but here Yao is giving a build up say per the rules of the game of the committee Afenyo Marking there obetime bisa question bia as many as otime bisa it was a members be
abusia for in yatin sema kwekwana ene ni team eka na utie nsem omoka na echese sa Ɗeduct no mbabe no because microphone o say na enye microphone eda fomo ena amoso mo nipa 4 ena mo kwakwo che tua enti me na meka say say na den si kon so mo use 10,000 Ghana cedi obi ava 10,000 ti nipa 4 no na ye beka 10,000 times 4 na ye 40,000 na 400 million no omo fan go repair table na say no microphone na say no including a car is a doors ni become papa any ade omo first can van go repair because near my ye no dwena ho a won dia say e dia da mo say honorable susu ensu as a honorable na da mo so ni shede hu eson fa so bia as I said be ni kwan say the Thomas because they mo ye na say kg for ni maybe although mo bit ma argue our parliament both vets and as a parliamentary and with argue, but going to extend say what say parliamentary property damage no hit you I not dear or go beyond and no Sunday speaker and public in the BC form now as so train or the amount I know is and beto jamu say another premiums and go for no more engaging into that chaos no. Yeah, they are suspended for 2 weeks. Or I heard 2 weeks, and that means a vetting upon vetting, but Baba Zunino, they are going to be vetted. The Mahamad are nominating on the and vetting artists and Semino are able to judges. I would want to see. Now, right now, as you speak, go forward to say, Omo Bomi, Ɗeduct we ƊamagěHNS MP, not also. Home Baba Sam no I say any yourself in the mic to engage into some a fight be near the Sanko Funinano. I was on me day or Muchitia. What sad news I hit you right now. There's some information about Tuja. I'm going to with my chair and your commented bit him so I share. I'm more down for so and you be a higher for 1 Akroma.